Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Please take your seat.
Thank you, sir.
You can take off your mask, Anjani, as we
Thank
are
you.
maintaining social distancing.
Thank you, sir.
Anjani, you are from Prayagraj.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have graduated in science. One of your hobbies is reading and reciting poetry.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, what kind of poetry? Hindi poetry?
Yes, sir. Of course, in the poetry.
Okay. Good. So, how often do you recite poetry?
Sir, whenever I am alone or with a company of people who are my friends, and they ask me to do so, or whenever I feel like free to recite any poetry, which makes
So, what kind of poems do you recite? Motivational poems or what kind of poems?
So they are motivational and poems that relate to the human nature and the way they connect to the nature, human beings.
Can you recite 4 lines for us? Maybe which have motivated you or something else?
Yes, sir. There is one poem from I'm not able to recall the name of that poet, but it goes like, शम्मे वतन की लौ पर जब कुर्बान पतंगा हो, होठों पर गंगा हो, हाथों में तिरंगा हो.
Okay.
So,
Good, good.
Kumar Vishwas, sir.
Kumar Vishwas.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Kumar Vishwas is not exactly a qualified poet. Do you
Yes, sir.
think?
But the kind of poetry,
I think we can call him a poetry enthusiast,
yes, sir.
not a poet, right?
Yes, sir. We can call him that.
You have also mentioned educational services in your village.
Yes, sir.
So do you teach children in your village or what?
Whenever I am in my village, sir, I try to teach children who are in up to the class of matriculation.
Matriculation.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So what are the challenges that you face while teaching children in your village?
Sir, first thing that the problem which I face is the lack of cognitive ability among those students. They come from a rural background and they do not get the adequate support from the family and lack of other things which do not enhance their capability, which like when we see and sharpen minds around us, we feel like enthusiastic towards teaching. This is the thing which misses in them.
You are from Prayagraj.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Anjani, in Uttar Pradesh, we see that the names of many places have been changed or renamed.
Yes,
in recent times, right?
Yes,
and some of them have historical significance also.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So is it a form of historical reappropriation, wherein we are trying to, in a sense, rediscover our cultural roots? Is it a process of that, or it is just signaling in a way?
Sir, the pattern in which the names of certain districts and places have been changed are these names have been derived from the ancient culture and the traditions that were followed in that region. Like the region which I come from, it was named as Allahabad, which was named by Akbar in 16th century. Later, this government in 2018 changed its name to Prayagraj, which was its original name as per, if we go to the post-Vedic scriptures and Upanishads, it was earlier Prayagraj. But the issue with the changing of names is that they do not amount to the change in socio-economic conditions of the people, which we need to take into account.
But anyway, changing a name is not related to socio-economic pattern. I think at the time when Akbar may have renamed the city,
yes,
that wouldn't have impacted the socio-economic aspect. So should we actually link these two? I mean,
there should be some sort of linkage, but which is missing as of right now. But when Akbar renamed it as Allahabad, it was based on the strategic location that this place had on the confluence of the two mightiest rivers, Ganga and Yamuna, which is. And the recent changing of name is totally based upon the culture that the Mela, the Kumbh Mela, which is organized over there every 6th year and 12th year. So it is a kind of signaling also to the people that we are trying to connect with our legacies. And
you have applied for CAPFs.
Yes,
so can you tell me what is the percentage of tribal population in UP?
Sir, it is around 13 to 14%.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir, I am quite pretty sure.
Okay. Is it not a high number? I mean, I don't think it's 13%.
Sir, if we would look at the census of UP,
Okay.
it is 13%.
Okay. Okay. As per census 2011.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
That's
fine.
right.
And which are the districts in which the population is concentrated?
I'm not aware of that, sir.
Okay. Okay. Have you heard of Sonbhadra district?
Yes, sir, I have heard it.
Okay. And why it has been news since the I think recent 2 years, I think. Why it has been in news?
Sir, one of the major reason is that this region has been affected by some Maoist groups, and they are indulging themselves in anti-state activities like opening fires upon police personnel and other functionaries. So this is the reason why Sonbhadra is often in news.
When we say anti-state activities,
Yes, sir.
whether it is in UP or in Chhattisgarh or in Maharashtra, wherever, what is the role of the local population in harboring such elements?
Sir, local population, when it has certain grievances and people with nefarious agendas try to encash upon those feelings of grievances, which can be of the nature of they lack basic amenities, welfare schemes, which are not reaching to the root level of the ground root level to the people, and they have certain grievances, and these are often they are often indulged, made to act in an activities, and they are made to garner their support for the agents who have an ideology of anti-state agendas.
We also hear of the term urban Naxalism,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
So, what do we understand by that term, and what does it denote?
Urban Naxalism, sir, this is a term coined quite recently. So these are the people who have their affiliations with the frontal organizations of banned Maoist, who indulge themselves in the Maoist activities and anti-state activities. So they have a kind of affection towards those activities and the people who are indulged in such anti-state activities.
Affection.
Yes, sir.
What is meant by that?
Sir, it is a kind of moral, educational, social, economic support they offer to these groups which have their.
Institute of Science. You have graduated from Institute of Science.
Yes, sir.
Okay. There is a term called as Fourth Industrial Revolution. Have you heard of the term?
Yes, sir. It was in the news when World Economic Forum was held in 2018 or 19, I guess.
What does it signify?
So it signifies the recent technological developments that are currently going on in the world at the world level, which is these are of nature big data and artificial intelligence, machine learning. If I am guessing it right, I'm not.
Okay, you are not sure.
I'm not sure, sir.
When we talk about artificial intelligence or machine learning,
Yes, sir.
what are the specific aspects which are included in it when it comes to, let's say, creation of new jobs or creation of areas wherein new employment or people can be trained? Which are those areas? One of the areas that I can see is cyber security.
Yes, sir.
Because as and when payment apps are gaining significance and we are moving more and more services online, cyber security is one of the areas. What are the other areas in which such jobs can arise?
Sir, there can be financial services where these technologies can be used as in terms of education, and there are other areas also where it can be like medicine and industry. Its application can be used in agriculture and farming practices.
There are two terms, augmented reality and virtual reality.
I'm not aware of that, sir.
You have
I've
not
heard
heard.
it, but
You have heard it.
yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm not sure about it.
Okay, no problem. You have done your schooling from Maharshi Patanjali Vidya Mandir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Maharshi Patanjali is regarded as the founder of one of the schools of philosophy.
Yes, sir.
Which is that school?
Yoga school, sir.
Yoga School of
Yes, sir.
Philosophy.
It is one of the 6 Indian philosophical schools.
Okay. And what are the steps in the Yoga School of Philosophy? Have you heard?
So
are you
there
aware?
are eight patterns which are there. And if I could recount that, it would be Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pratyahar, Pranayam, and rest I am missing rest of the.
Okay, no problem.
So
Your father is into agriculture, right?
yes, sir.
Do you think agriculture or farming as such is remunerative nowadays?
Sir, as far as the MSP is concerned, those farmers getting the MSP, they are getting the remunerative prices. But farmers who do not get, who are not able to get the MSP, they the amount of income that they are getting is not remunerative. So
Okay, so you mean to say even if it is a small farmer, but he is growing wheat, he will be able to manage?
no, sir, he would not be able to manage that.
Then
There
let me
are
repeat my question.
Yes.
Do you think farming is remunerative in India?
Sir, it varies from region to region and person to person based on the land holdings of that farmer, sir.
Okay.
So big farmers, they are getting MSPs, but when it comes to small and marginal farmers, they are not getting the access to the mandis. So in that order, they are not getting it.
There was this India-Nepal border issue
Yes, sir.
recently. Can you, in brief, summarize what was the issue?
Sir, the government of Nepal recently published its map, national map, in which it had shown 3 areas as in their territory.
Which were those 3 areas?
Kala Pani, Lipulek, and one was Dhara. I'm missing that.
Okay. Do you think such hyping can create internal security challenges in the bordering states?
Yes, sir. It have the potential to create internal security challenges, as people living in that region might be turned as an hostile actor towards India. People and as well as Nepal as well when it comes to the.
One of Indian national was reportedly killed by Nepal's forces when this border dispute was going on. So do you think such incidents can trigger acts of violence?
Yes, sir. These have the potential to act.
Okay. Many border states in India, Jammu, Kashmir to Punjab, even Northeast, have had internal security challenges. But UP, despite having a border, seems to be relatively calm. What can be the factors behind this?
Sir, UP shares its border with Nepal.
Yes.
So, but the kind of activities that are happening over Nepal border is not that much of serious concern. What it is happening with the Bangladesh and Pakistan and other borders. So it is at a relatively calm.
So you think
region.
open border policy, which we have with Nepal, do you think that has helped India in this regard?
Sir, when it comes to the people-to-people contact and the mutual trades and agreements, it is helping Indian nationals, and India is gaining an emotional touch with the people of Nepal. I have some friends who are from Nepal who have graduated with me in the BSc in the institute, and they are getting it as a common student in India can get that kind of education. So it is garnering an emotional support for India and Indian nationals in that region.
Okay. Are you aware of cryptocurrency?
Yes, sir.
Recently, Prime Minister Modi had said that cryptocurrency is one of the biggest challenges to security.
Yes, sir.
So, do you agree with this? And if yes, why?
Yes, sir. I do agree with that statement.
Okay, why?
The reason is that the nature of the transactions that are conducted through the cryptocurrency, they are of very secretive in nature, and the kind of regulation that is there is not a centralized one. It is a decentralized one, which makes it quite hard to decipher and decode, and the kind of illicit activities that are done through it, and the source and the person or the entities that are doing the transactions cannot be traced.
Okay.
So the secrecy of these transactions.
Going beyond transactions,
Yes, sir.
do you think that it has the potential to destabilize financial systems of the countries?
Yes, sir. It has the potential.
How?
Sir, it can be used as hawala transactions, which is based on trust system, which evades our financial systems and taxes, which India can get if done through monetary measures.
Okay, you have written watching movies,
Yes,
right?
sir.
OTT platforms, they have really transformed the way entertainment industry works.
Yes, sir.
And there are also there were allegations that more freedom, creative freedom, or more violence or such things are happening more on OTT, in the sense the content is less regulated.
Yes.
Do you think that has the potential of disrupting social fabric or any of these?
Actually, it is, yes, sir. The kind of nature of content that is there on the OTT platforms and the kind of audience that they are getting, it is totally unregulated. First thing, there are no laws which address to the issues of these OTT platforms, and there is no age restriction. There are certain programs, episodes which do mention that these are meant for the adult categories, but there are several issues. The reports that suggest that not all the adults are getting watching those episodes. Even the minor children are having access to those episodes. So it is a kind of moral hazard that is going to create among the youngsters.
Fine. Okay, that's all from my side.
So, hi
Yes,
Anjani.
sir.
You are a physics graduate.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me what is grand unification theory?
Sir, there are four fundamental forces in nature, and they are of the nature of first one is gravitational force, another is electromagnetic force, and a strong nuclear force and weak nuclear force. So our scientists tried to observe these phenomena and tried to unify all the form of forces in one type of force, which string theory, as per recent developments, is working on that thing. But as per gravitational force, the Newton tried to assimilate the celestial and terrestrial forces. It was one of them. And
What is the challenge right now? Which force one they are not able to reconcile?
so gravitational force is
And which theory is right now widely accepted on gravitation?
I'm not aware.
General
of
theory of relativity. It's general theory of relativity.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's gravity only, right? It
Yes,
defines the gravity. So you led your team in kabaddi
Yes, sir.
in
my
school. Do you think that pro kabaddi league is good for kabaddi as such? It will help in popularizing.
Actually, sir, it is good. It is incentivizing our youths towards sports and such activities.
And do you think that it is actually working? But because I don't see pro kabaddi league getting same kind of
Support.
yeah, like you get for IPL.
Yes, sir.
Do you get same kind of
So this is totally based on the sports person who is looking for these things. So like I watch DD Sports, so there are programs.
Okay.
But the kind of support that cricket has in our country, and after the cricket it is football. The kabaddi is not having that much of viewers in our India, and if it can be promoted through our education system and state support, it can get that much amount of.
So you mean that educational system, when you say that it should be promoted in the schools as well?
Yes, sir. It can be
Alright.
promoted in schools and colleges.
Who won the Nobel Prize in Physics this year?
This year, I'm not.
Do you have any idea what was their field of work in which they got?
Sir, it was. No, sir.
Do you know how many women battalions are there in CRPF?
No, sir, I'm not aware of that.
And do you think that there should be increased representation to women in combat roles?
Yes, sir, they should be. This promotes the sense of gender equality, and this promotes a sense of empowerment.
And why do you think till now the representation has been so skewed towards towards men?
men. Sir,
Because even we are interviewing candidates, there hasn't been any single female candidate. Why do you think that women are not inclined to apply to these services?
Sir, this is a kind of when it comes to combatant roles, it has been the nature of these roles that people have always preferred men as a warring, as a So the traditional way of fighting and war, indulging into war has been always favoring the men. They have fought the war, but this stigma is changing now. Women are coming up and they are joining academies.
So what more steps can be done so that women are incentivized and they are given the role as well, so that they don't feel discriminated within the services that they are being discriminated?
So first thing that needs to be done is that spread of awareness amongst them,
All right.
that there is they are also at par with the men, those who are fighting or confronting other forces. Awareness, and another thing is that there can be support from the state. There can be
In what kind of support?
sort of facilitating basic things that require anyone to choose these roles.
And do you think there is a lack of infrastructure within the forces,
Yes, sir.
appropriate infrastructure for women? Do you think that then steps have to be taken in this regard as well?
Yes, sir. It is quite true for the present system of forces as well, that they lack a proper infrastructure. And when it comes to women and women, there are certain things which are missing in infrastructure. So it can be a garnering support if we want.
Have women been given permanent commission in army as well? Do you know?
So far, they have not been given, but the Supreme Court has mandated that they should be given a permanent commission in the armed forces.
Okay, Supreme Court has said. Army had refused, but Supreme
Army
Court...
has not refused.
Okay.
Army has not taken any steps to implement that decision.
Okay. Navy and Air Force?
I'm not aware of that, sir.
All right. So what steps have been taken by the government related to border management? Infrastructure specifically, when I say what infrastructure has been built for proper border management?
Yes. Sir, BRO is working hard. Border roads and organization.
That's one aspect. Yes, roads, good.
Yes, sir. To enhance the connectivity, all-weather connectivity throughout our remotest part of our country.
Okay.
And another thing is erecting integrated checkposts.
Yes.
At borders.
Yeah.
So this has been one of the key factors where every single facility that one would think of would get when it comes to finance, customs, and financial.
Have you heard about CIBMS?
Yes, sir. It is comprehensive border management system.
Integrated border management
yes,
system.
Sir.
So what are the general steps that are taken under this scheme, and what kind of infrastructure that is built?
Connectivity
is one that you have said BRO is taking steps. Think specifically in terms of say Indo-Pak border or Indo-Bangladesh border.
Yes,
okay, what are the challenges with respect to Indo-Bangladesh border?
Sir, the patchy lands, the varied terrains over there, the riverine belts makes it quite hard for the Indian forces to.
So, what percentage of border is fenced with respect to Bangladesh?
I'm not aware of the data, sir.
Okay, like you said, there is varying terrain.
Yes,
so there are riverine areas where you cannot erect a fence.
Yes,
so is there any technological solution that is available?
Yes, sir. We can trace any activities that is going on in that region by use of satellites and communication channels.
But satellite is not on a real-time basis. Satellite image will come at a later stage. Say infiltration is happening. Somebody is crossing the border illegally. The satellite image will come with a lot of delay, and by that time that person might become intraceable. So on a live real-time basis, what is the technological solution?
The manual forces can be deployed in the nearest region.
But it's a riverine area. You cannot deploy a person there.
In the nearest region, wherever it is possible.
Somebody might go and swim and maybe cross somewhere
one would
a couple of kilometers down the line. Huh?
One would eventually get the land, and by that nearing region, we can deploy our forces manually, and they can look into the issues with the help of binoculars and such things. So
binoculars. You mentioned binoculars. There is night vision camera that are getting.
Night vision camera.
Do you know the technology on what night vision camera works?
They sense IR. They are part of. They are IR sensors. Which,
IR sensors. How do they work?
Infrared.
What is unique about IR sensors? How do they?
So the kind of heat they sense the heat
Yes,
in any
they trace the heat. Yes, but night vision, do check out whether it works on IR or not.
Yes, sir. I will check it out.
So I wish you all the best for your interview. You will do
All the
well.
best.
All the best.